What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders, brought to you as always by ProfitX. We are going to be diving into this Week 2 matchup. We're turning the page on the Buffalo Bills fiasco, for lack of a better word, and we're going to be getting ready for the Cleveland Browns. Going back through their tape last week, one thing really stood out, and that is the pressure that the Cincinnati defensive line got on Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco could not be more of a polar opposite quarterback than Josh Allen. The rush strategy is the polar opposite. I want to dive into it. We kind of already took a look at the strategy from last week in that Mike Green and Nice Peoples video, so I'll drop that down in the comments below so you guys can go check that out if you missed it. But that's really what I want to focus on, is how did they attack these offensive tackles specifically, really bending the edge, and the big difference being that Joe Flacco obviously can't escape the pocket the way Josh Allen can. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. Hit that like button for me. Hit subscribe if you're new here. And as always, Trench Previews brought to you by our friends over at One Bone. You can use promo code ColeJackson15, big and tall menswear. The bullet tees you see Lane Johnson, Creed Humphrey, and Teron Armstead wearing, I have them in just about every color. They're absolutely my go-tos. Go check it out. Use that promo code. Get some money off. So we're going to be focusing on we're going to start with how we attack the tackles. So we're going to start with the left tackle battle between just about call him Teron Armstead, Trey Hendrickson, and DeJuan Jones. DeJuan Jones being more of a bigger, longer, physical offensive tackle, really wants to use his length, but he's a plotter with his footwork. And so what Trey Hendrickson's strategy was, and it's going to be something that fits really well with what Mike Green does well, is attack that outside hand. And that's not something that Trey usually does. He's more of that inside power rusher. And so what you're going to see right off, and I'm probably going to say this word about 8 times throughout this video, but he's going to attack him with the cross chop. And so you're going to see him attack upfield, swipe those hands away, and bend that edge and get a QB hit on Joe Flacco. So as soon as Jones' hands come out, Trey using that inside hand to push down and swipe away that outside hand. So defensive inside to offensive inside, offensive outside, push down on that hand, create that short corner. That was the strategy in this game for the Bengals. You see it right there, because it creates that short corner and bends that edge. The added benefit being, if you can bend the edges and really attack around here, it's going to force Joe Flacco to step up, because he's not going to be able to take those rush lanes. And so if you're collapsing the pocket with power and you're bending the edge, it's going to create that chaos there in the middle. So that's really what the strategy is going to be this weekend. You're going to see Trey Hendrickson again here getting around the edge. You also see Shamar Stewart on the opposite side of the D-line, bending through with power, comes in on the inside hand. But Cleveland tried to use a couple of strategies. So here you're going to see their center is going to kind of come out on a play action motion here to give Trey Hendrickson a different look, chip with the tight end, and you see he gets after it with the sack. So he's going to start with David Njoku here. Njoku is going to chip him. He's going to swim it. And then as he gets there, you can see he gets the bend and rip. So that's where he wants to bend, get his inside hip against the inside hip right here, and then rip up with that arm to take away his hand on your chest plate, and then also create that short corner. So that's what this game was all about, creating that short corner around the edge. See it again here. DeJuan Jones going to throw that hand. Once again, we're bending that edge. A little bit of a different strategy here, because we get Jones out there and he's going to shoot that inside hand first. So right there. So he's going to kind of push that hand away. But by doing that, Jones opens the gate. And this is what we need to focus on. The way we can open the gate, create that short corner with bend. Again, that's what Mike Green does so damn well. Kyle Van Noy does it quite well too. Odafe Owe, not necessarily as good as the other two, but definitely a good matchup for Van Noy and Mike Green. Then we get to these two plays down on the goal line. This was, if you guys were watching live, kind of when the game was just about over, Cleveland's kind of last shot. So they're going to line Trey Hendrickson out wide in that wide alignment. I love that setup against the plotter. Get him out in space, try and get him into that vertical set, and then you can attack him outside or inside with it's going to be difficult for the guard to help him. They're going to shade up a linebacker, trying to take the attention of Joel Bitonio. You see Bitonio step inside. That means Trey Hendrickson out in space against Jones. He's going to, again, use the cross chop. See those hands swipe away, bend the edge. He gets held there, doesn't get called, and then force the throwaway on Joe. And what's interesting, and I should have mentioned this at the start, when you go through a lot of these clips, you'll notice Joe hitting the check down. And that's, if you guys remember Joe's time, especially towards the end, check down Joe in full effect. A lot of targets went to tight ends and running backs. Hannon, Njoku, Jerome Ford, all guys that caught a lot of passes in this game. Once again, here we're going to have the exact same alignment. David Njoku out there split. We're lined up wide. Now we're going to attack that inside hand. So just a good way to look at it and how you can split him out wide. Again, they're going to create that matchup where they don't get the left guard out there helping, and then Trey Hendrickson able to do work coming back inside. So our friends at ProfitX, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an inside secret. They are giving you the best odds in the sports market. ProfitX flips the entire sportsbook industry on its head. It's America's #1 sports prediction market where you play against peers, not the house. That means you are getting the best prices on spreads, totals, money lines, and props. It looks and feels like the apps you already know, but just with better odds. And you can see it right here. I'm going to be nailing this Derrick Henry anytime touchdown score. If I go to DraftKings right now, I can put $100 on that line. It's going to pay me $140. If I go over to ProfitX and I put down the exact same $100 on the exact same bet, you can see it right here. It's going to pay me $158.82. Why would I take less money when I can go over there and get more money? Better odds, and you can use promo code ROADGraders to get up to $200 in profit cash back in your first 30 days. Use the promo code when you sign up at the link down in the description down below. Now we're going to focus on the right tackle. I wouldn't say the same type of approach from Shamar Stewart. He attacked Lucas Cornelius' inside hand a lot more. This could very well be Jack Conklin if he's able to come back healthy. We don't really have full injury details. I think it was an eye injury, so we're just not sure how that's going to shake out. But taking a look, you're going to see him attack that inside hand. The video skips there, sorry. Attacking that inside hand, and there's that pocket collapsing. And so this is what I mean by, the more we can collapse that pocket, Joe's mobility going outside, it's just not the same as Josh Allen. It's not the same as a Mahomes, right? So, but still able to attack the edge here. You're going to see it. There's a cross chop. Get around after Joe. It was very intentional. He's getting checked down. Very intentional by the Bengals to be able to come out with this approach, and that's really what they wanted to do. So you're going to see again right here. He's going to use the power move. Cornelius really struggling to anchor. This I could see being a really good matchup for Odafe Owe. His ability to convert speed to power makes you wish we still had Jadeveon Clowney. Good matchup for him. You're going to see he's going to cut inside. And this was a really funny play to watch because this is just what you didn't see last week against the Bills. You couldn't do a move like this because as soon as you come inside, you open this entire rollout with a guy like Josh Allen, absolute nightmare. They just aren't that afraid of it because it's Joe Flacco, and you see how, he just ran like 10 yards and it took him 20 seconds. He does throw a nice ball, still hits the running back on the check down. He still got a good arm. I'll give him credit, but just doesn't have the wheels, never did, and they've just only gotten worse. Again, attacking that outside, and this is a good play to take a look at what the strategy needs to be. So you're going to get both Trey and Shamar Stewart. They're going to bend the edge. So they're going to bend the edge, and then you're going to get that interior pressure. And this is exactly what I mean. The more that we can funnel Joe Flacco up in the pocket by bending the edge and forcing him up, then you go power on the inside and get into Joe. He's not able to escape these. So you see right there, the pocket has collapsed on him. He's going to step up, and he's got no way of escaping. They take him down for a sack. So that's the difference in what the strategy needs to be. I thought the Cincy game plan on this D-line was really, really solid. There's a lot to take away here, and I'm really excited to see how the Ravens can do it. I think we get into a few snaps from the interior here. Yeah, so I wanted to take a look at Wyatt Teller, who struggled a little bit in this game. He allowed 3 pressures. Kind of a similar approach. So we're going to start out here with a four-eye technique. So we're just inside the tackle. We want to get Wyatt Teller out 2 steps. So you can see right there, 1, 2. And as we do that, this is just a little bend and rip from the inside. So this is something that I think Nnamdi Madubuike can do extremely well. This is something that Anise Peebles can do really well. Bend that edge and get after from the inside. And you see right there, as he comes around, there's that pressure. Check down to Jerome Ford. That actually went for -3 yards. I think we see it again. Is this on the left side? Yeah, so this is against Joel Bitonio. There's going to be a big skip in the video, sorry. Same idea here. So we got the 4-tech across from the tackle. We want to get those guards out moving. Again, power line, not necessarily a finesse line. We got Trey Hendrickson out in that wide alignment across from David Njoku, and you're going to see him. We're not going to get a good look at it because of the video skips, but again, we're almost knocking that ball out as we bend the edge. That actually got tipped up for the interception. Back against Wyatt Teller here, taking a look at BJ Hill, number 92. There's kind of a cross chop from the inside, and as he comes around, that was the sack. So just looking at it from BJ Hill's perspective, that's how he attacked him. So really intentional that these guys were using that go-to pass rush move. I think this is a finesse pass rush game. This is something that, it's very clear to me on tape how you attack these guys. Don't go into them with power. Use the speed. Force Joe to step up in the pocket, collapse that pocket from the inside. And this could very well be a very big game for Mike Green. I think his speed is going to be on full display. Everything we saw in the preseason, all the things we saw him do extremely well, matches up extremely well with this Cleveland O-line. If Jack Conklin's in there, it'll be a little bit different for the right tackle picture, but definitely against the left tackle. So that's what I have for you guys. If you guys enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here. And as always, thank you to our friends at ProfitX and One Bone for sponsoring.